Anyways, I'm Steven. We haven't met face to face yet, but I just wanted to go over a little bit of the specifics on the equipment. I'm going to show you a quick demo that we're going to be doing with Stephanie here. So here's the unit here. Obviously you can see I'm about 5'8" in heels, so you can see how tall it stands. The primary reason why the box is so big, obviously, is so that we can actually cool the components, which will lengthen the lifetime of the actual equipment. Okay, LCD monitor, it's about 10 inches. It's in multiple languages. And I know we've talked about the cooling system also on each individual paddle. You have your intake and your exhaust. Okay, your diodes are here. There's 26 total. Half of them are going to be infrared at 940 is the frequency. Half of them are going to be at the red light frequency of 650. So I was telling you about the coherent frequencies. At that specific spot, they're both coherent. Okay, so we're going to use these diodes to pulse specifically on Stephanie here, depending on where we're actually using it. And it's also we're going to factor in her skin tone as well. Okay, so the paddles, I'll show you the back of the unit as well. There's 10 large paddles in the designated A and B, 5A, 5B. So each paddle here has connections here, so we can actually link them together to cover larger areas of the body or contour specific areas. Okay, because if we're placing it like on somebody's thigh or some hips, we won't have to strap specifically one paddle, per strap. We can actually create and mold to the area, which is good. All right, so you want to do your waist today?
Waist, lug handles,
Okay.
back. Can we just do it?
Yeah, we will. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to link these together to create a blanket over the waist area. Oh, Pam, you want to get that on there? I'm just throwing this away. All right. So most of the time, for production purposes, you guys will probably keep about 5 of these linked together, okay? Because this, for contouring specifically, 5 is going to be more than adequate. You may have to gear it down.
Okay, go.
Just breathe normally. 35 and 39 and a quarter. Oh, are you already recording? Hey Doc, sorry the video cut out. But what I'm doing right now is just measuring the waistline. I took a measurement right here, directly across the navel. So we have our measurement there. One thing I'm also looking at is obviously the skin tone. So Stephanie's complexion is going to be darker. She's got more melanin in the skin. She's going to be able to actually absorb this laser energy very readily. So I'm not going to be able to push the energy level extremely high on her. I could potentially, obviously, burn the skin a little bit. But another thing is this epidermal layer here is going to want to absorb that energy, and what I want to do is get it past that epidermis and get it into the fat cells. So I'm going to gear the energy down, and I'm going to pulse it specifically so I can get to the fat cells there. So we have our initial measurement. Alrighty. We'll just have you lay on down on your back.
Lay it on my back.
Mm-hmm. I know it's up high. You can go with the pillow, without. You're more comfortable without?
Don't go with it.
Okay. So the cords are pretty long. They're about 3.5 feet. So all we're going to do is just make sure we get as much skin contact as we can. Notice the paddles are pretty large. So Stephanie is like 5'10".
Oh, I wish. 5'7".
Oh. Okay.
That was with my heels on when you
Gotcha.
saw me.
And she doesn't have a short torso, so you can see how much coverage the paddles actually create. All right. So that's 5 paddles. I'm going to need an additional paddle so I can get the other side of the love handle there, okay? And all I'm going to do is hook it on. Now we do have straps as well, if needed, for individual areas, different sizes. If we're doing just the waist, it's really not necessary, but I'll show you how to strap. Slip that for me. Oop. So if we're going to use strapping, we want to make sure that the intake and exhaust aren't covered up, okay? All right, so, oops. We're going to run our dual frequency here. We're going to run 15 minutes on the waist. The energy level, 10 will be fine. Pulse, it's a mid-range with a short delay. All right? All right. So what you're looking at with the pulse and delay, this is how long we're actually pulsing for. This is the delay as far as how long the light is actually off the skin. The delay is short so we can penetrate a little bit deeper, okay? Let me cut this light too. You can see how it lights up. So the patients are going to feel a little bit of warmth. If they feel heat, then that's too much, okay? You feel a little bit of warmth, just a minimal amount? Yep. Cool, so that's all we want there. So the first session, obviously, we're going to see how well they tolerate it. We're going to be able to get some inches off, probably a minimum half an inch, and that's how we're going to do it. All right, we'll be back for the results. All right, so we've got about a minute left on this. It'll buzz when it's done. Remember, it's an unintended service, so you know your people are just going to hook them up, walk away. They'll come back when the treatment's done. What we're also going to do, what we can show you after we get measurements post session, is we'll have Stephanie flip over. They're just cut, and I'll show you as far as like where placement of the paddles and how we would hook them up on the back of the body, different areas. So, all right, so we're done there. If you want to come on over, Pam. So as you can see how it's glistening a little bit, there was definitely some heat generated here. You can feel it's warm to the touch. You can't feel, but it is definitely warm. All right, I'll have you go ahead and stand on up. Always try to make sure that the staff works over the bench so we don't drop these paddles. All right, then we're going to get another measurement here. Same spot when you're marking, or when you're measuring, obviously you want to make sure you're hitting the same contours. If you want to mark with a pen, you can do that as well. It's just not necessary. Alright. And breathe normally. Okay, so 38.75 in one spot. So that was... That's a half inch. So half inch on Stephanie. She doesn't have a tremendous amount to lose. Really hers is going to be more spot specific. She's already lost how much weight? 25 pounds or
20 pounds.
20 pounds. So with you using the machine. So, all right. So now what we're doing is just tighten things up. All right. So let me just real quick. I'm going to have her lay down on her stomach. I'm going to show you how we would actually do other areas. Remember, if you want to come over here, Pam, these pieces break apart. So I'm going to show you what we would do with that. One thing we don't want to do is have the paddles. Yeah, you can just leave it. You can just lay across it. We don't want the paddles under the body. So if we're treating the back of the body, we're going to hit different areas. The bra strap area is very frequent, especially in females. So that's this area right here. What I normally do is I'll take one or two paddles, depending on the size. Stephanie's just going to need a single paddle. And I just use the bra strap. We're going to go ahead and plug it in right here. And we do that on both sides. Again, the lumbar area, we just create the blanket and strap. If it's a tricep, go ahead and bring your arm straight down for me. Yep. We take one or two paddles. Right here, all we have to do is just place. Oops, sorry, let me just move this real quick. Okay. And we're directly on the tricep. If we were doing legs or hips, saddlebag area right here. When you keep two together, you can see how it actually conforms to it, okay? Same thing on the hamstrings or legs, it'd be 3 across. And remember, we've got 10 large paddles, so. All right.
Hook him back up. We're good to go. All right, Doc, give me a call if you need anything.